I'm 55 years old, and about 8 years ago, I made a decision that totally changed my relationship with food. I adopted veganism, which means today I live a plant-based lifestyle. I didn't grow up in an atmosphere that emphasized health and wellness. Matter of fact, it wasn't even ever discussed. My mom and dad are wonderful people, but I think culturally and generationally, it just wasn't something, wellness was if you didn't have a cold, and health was something that we just hoped the best for. The first time I think that I really became aware that there was a need to pursue health and wellness was when I was 17 years old. My dad passed away. Man, he was one of my best friends. We did a lot of things together, and I played music at a young age, so he would always go with me, and all of a sudden he was gone, and he died because of high blood pressure, he died of a stroke. And so even though I still didn't have any wisdom or any knowledge about how to be healthy, I thought at that time if I would run and keep my weight down, that would help. So that's where that started. I told my mom at 17, I remember just making kind of the declaration, is I won't die early and leave my kids. And so that's kind of the first time that I started pursuing health, but really diet at that point there was no change in that. I didn't have any knowledge or any thoughts that I should change the way I eat. I just believed if I exercised. So I started running, and I'm still a runner today, but I started running and making sure that my weight was maintained at what I believed a healthy level. There was certainly a particular event that caused me to think harder about becoming a vegan, or what I like to say is living a plant-based lifestyle. So from the time I was 17 up until I was in my mid-40s, of course, I would do different things, and I would watch certain things in my diet, but it still never really became serious to me until my wife at the time was diagnosed with cancer. And then, of course, because you try to read about things, and I started seeing the correlation between food and sickness. And to be honest, I had never seen that before. I'd never paid attention to it, and I'd never pursued it. So it was because of that cancer, and because of things that I saw and I read and I heard and I smelled, and just the atmosphere just pushed me, already having a desire to be healthy. That pushed me to dig a little deeper into what it really meant to watch what you ate. So my wife passed away in 2016, and in 2017, and by the way, my son was also, the same year that my wife passed away, my son was diagnosed with cancer. And so in the year of 2017, because of what he was going through, he was researching and looking, and quite frankly, at that time, I didn't do a lot of video watching, and I didn't, deep dive the internet quite like I do today. But it's become more of a part of my life today, put it like that. But he brought home, he lived away, and he brought home this video for us to watch, and we pulled it up online, and it was called What the Health. And when I watched that video, that was the one particular event that made me go, I'm doing it. And it was actually on July 3rd of 2017 when I watched that. So we had a family event that the next day we went to this family event. I went with my 3 kids, and they were doing all the cooking and everything on the grill. And I can remember making the conscious decision that day that I wouldn't partake in any of that. And so July the 4th of 2017 is the first day that I really lived started living a complete plant-based life. In the society we live in, there's all kinds of obstacles to living vegan or plant-based. First of all, I'm a product of the region that I grew up in, right? So, here in the South, man, it feels good socially to go to a barbecue, or I still, and this is what's weird, I still love the lifestyle that goes along with a lot of the stuff that I used to eat, yet I don't have a desire to eat it. So, but that has been one of the biggest obstacles that I have faced in maintaining a plant-based lifestyle, is the whole thing of there's so many options to fit in with everybody and to have a good time with everybody, to eat, and then there's so few options even today, and there's been so much advancement, and there's so many wonderful things that are available out there, and quite frankly, as I sit here today, I don't miss meat out of my diet. I don't miss dairy out of my diet, but there's still such a limited view, or a limited amount of things that are available. So that's been one of the biggest obstacles. So the thing that drives me to maintain a plant-based lifestyle, even in social situations where it's not common and that people don't understand, is my health. That's the main reason. I tell people all the time, I did not become a vegan, and that's the reason I usually use a plant-based lifestyle, is because, when you talk about being vegan, there's a lot of animal activists, there's a lot of people that talk about the atmosphere. All those things are important to me. Obviously, I love animals. I'm not trying to kill animals, or I'm not for killing animals, but in the same respect, and this may ruffle some feathers, but I'm also not against hunting. I'm not that guy. I did not choose this for any other reason but my health. So my health is what causes me to maintain the ability in social situations where it would be, more acceptable to just have a steak, or have, I used to eat shrimp cocktail a lot. To do those things, would be easier. But the main reason why I'm able to stay focused is because I see what losing your health does. Once it's gone, man, it's a hard thing. So I want to stay healthy. That's the main reason. So as soon as I started eating a plant-based life and not drinking milk and eating cheese and all that, a few years before that, I believe it was in 2013, I had a motorcycle wreck. And when I had the motorcycle wreck, this right knee, because I am a runner, every time I would run, it didn't swell on the outside, but I could feel this tightness on the inside because I slid on the pavement on this knee. And ever since then, it had caused me, some issues when I would run. About a month or two in of me becoming vegan, I noticed I'd go run and my leg nothing happened. Everything was good. And I realized it's because I took dairy out of my diet. it has been amazing to me how many people, they find out, because I don't go around talking about it. I don't go around trying to preach this to everybody. But it's been amazing to me how many people has looked at me over the years and said, I could give up meat if I had to, but not my cheese. I'm not giving up my cheese. Cheese is such a loved thing in America. So, but I will tell you that, man, it's not hard for me to stay off of cheese and milk. And I was always a big milk drinker, but part of the education that I've received is, it's for one thing, to understand what milk is. Milk is, growth hormones for cows. And so there's a lot of stuff in there. And this video is not about just all the education. It's about why I do what I do. But I don't want to put that in my body for a lot of reasons. But it's also proven that dairy, causes inflammation. And so it's not hard for me to stay off that, because I like for my knee to feel good when I run. There are a lot of educational things out today that I would there's nothing really, the only two things if people come to me and they seem really genuinely interested, I will point them to the video I talked about earlier, What the Health. And then there's another one that is out that's called You Are What You Eat. And it's a study where they took identical twins because of the genes that they have, and they put one on a carnivore diet and they put one on a vegan diet. And I always point people to those two resources right there, because there's a lot of education, a lot of scientific proof, and that's another thing. Well, how do you know what to believe? Well, how do we know what to believe otherwise? I mean, you go to a doctor that you don't really know, and you do what he tells you to do. Why? Because you trust what he's saying based on his education. And that's kind of where I guess I am with the vegan thing. These doctors that have earned degrees have done these studies, and then it just makes sense to me as well. It really does. But then more than that, more than the educational part, it's how I feel. It's my health. It's the fact that I had a physical a few months ago, and my blood work came back absolutely perfect. My blood pressure is perfect. My weight is maintained without watching calories. Why? I believe it's because of the plant-based diet that I'm on. So that's, I just encourage people to get on the internet, YouTube, find books and just educate yourself. Because that's what I did. When I first started eating a plant-based lifestyle, it was a little harder for me to manage those cravings than it is today, because I was a big steak guy. I loved to eat steak when before. And but now, to be honest with you, it's really not hard. I think I've had a lot of people ask me, why did you start being a vegan? Why did you begin this plant-based lifestyle? It's because I truly believe that people in America are eating themselves to death. I believe that. I have a lot of opinions about the cancer industry and the lack of nutritious education that they offer. I would be sitting in a chemotherapy ward with my wife, and some of the things that they would bring around and offer for those patients to eat. There again, that's not what this video is about. But how do I maintain how do I manage my cravings or urges for non-vegan foods? I just remember why I'm doing this. And today, it's really not even a thing of managing. It's just, I do what I do. I am who I am. And so I think you have to really believe in this lifestyle, or you won't do it. educate yourself, figure out what you truly believe about food, honestly. I think so much of society today just ignores it until there's a heart attack, until there's cancer. For instance, the education that I have received, I'm not a scientist, but I've been told by the things that I've watched, and I believe it, but go figure it out for yourself. But lunch meat is a class 2, I think, carcinogen, which means that it's in the same classification as cigarettes. Why would I want to, if I'm not going to smoke because I don't think it's healthy for me, why would I want to put something else in my body that's in the same classifications to cause the same things to happen as that? Anyway, educate yourself. That's the suggestion I would make to anyone. Educate yourself. Honestly. Be honest with yourself and educate yourself. So there's a lot of things that you can eat. I would be the first to tell you, I think the more raw you can eat is the better for you. I don't eat everything raw. I eat a lot of things that are offered today that are processed, that are plant-based. So I'm not this diehard, raw eating vegan. But when I do eat something that I want to spice up a little bit, I love hot sauce. So find a hot sauce that's vegan, which most of them are. And man, I love to put that hot sauce on there. And whether it is spaghetti with marinara sauce or one of my favorite foods is black-eyed peas. Just a big old plate of black-eyed peas with hot sauce on it and some crackers. Oh, so good. Now, you may not like black-eyed peas, but my point is you just become creative. Whether it is, a plant-based burger or whatever, there's some plant-based things out today that taste amazing. In larger cities, there's a lot of vegan options as far as restaurants and things. So go and just find those. Be intentional. And hey, if it's lacking a little flavor, a little hot sauce, it'll either give it flavor or burn your mouth, and either way, you'll not know the difference. Would I recommend a plant-based lifestyle to other people? Yes. Now, I have children. They're not plant-based. I have a lot of friends. Very few. I don't know that many people that do, to be honest, live. I know some, but I don't know a lot of people that eat plant-based diets. But here's a little bit of my soapbox. We're not given the truth about food. And also, food is for fuel, not social interaction. Food has become such a social focal point today. And you know what? I went to eat lunch with a friend of mine today. And we could have just met and talked, but we went and ate lunch. I'm not against that. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the thing. I still love the lifestyle that food produces, but you just have to know that there's a pretty cool lifestyle that you can live around alcohol if you so do that. But I don't do that because of other things that alcohol produces. If you drink, you drink. But I'm just saying, I make the decisions because of what I believe about the thing that I'm putting in my mouth, whatever it is. And so, it also goes along with, I believe in a holistic lifestyle. I believe that you can't just eat right. You got to exercise. You can't just exercise and eat right, but you got to think the right way. You can't just eat right, exercise, and think the right way, but you have to be healthy in your relationships. So I believe in holistic living, but that's not always a popular topic. It's not always an interesting topic. Some believe it's not always a fun topic, but you know what I do believe is fun? I'm sitting here today, 55 years old, and I am probably healthier than I've ever been in my life. And so I'm going to stick around to see my kids and hopefully my grandkids. I don't have any yet, but I'm hoping. So would I recommend a plant-based lifestyle to others? Yes. Do your education or seek your education. Educate yourself. And hey, enjoy life. Be happy. Stay moving. So yes, I would.